All right, so first real video. I did my best. Let's discuss what is a creatrix, what is metaphysics, and what does all this mean really in the grand scheme of things, right? Let's discuss those things. And at the end, I think what we'll do is, wrap it all up with an oracle card. Let's go with that. Guys, ladies, women, men, beings, I am excited to finally get the chance to sit down, to make an effort. So this is my effort. I'm going to make an effort at explaining what you would typically find if you came to my channel, and in a similar way, what a session on coaching or on spiritual guidance would look like if you hung out with me for a long enough time. While also maybe laying some groundwork for what I'm hoping will be a long-term back and forth with us. I'm open to how this is going to go. Very open. I apparently have a dog hair or something like stuck inside of my mouth. But I'm open to how I think this can go. And I really don't have anything laid out aside from just kind of getting through maybe some groundwork, like I said, maybe some foundation laying. Like, how did we get here? Like, how did we get here? And I don't know. I don't know how I got here. First of all, my name is Aliacia Taylor. I am a Scorpio. I have a Scorpio stellium on my chart, so I have a lot of Scorpio. So if you're looking at this and you're like, oh, okay, she's easily a Scorpio, yeah, you might be right. I don't know. I'm not an astrologer. However, I am, for all intents and purposes, a metaphysician. And what does that even mean? I think a metaphysician is someone, well, okay, I have an actual bachelor's and master's degree now in metaphysics. And I'm actually working on my PhD in metaphysics currently, like right now, like almost as we speak. Like, this is part of the work for my PhD, for my dissertation, the energy that I plan to put out, and the documentation of all of the things that I'm learning, and the conversation that I have with you, with other women, with other men, with my community, the story behind how I ended up here in this spot in my community. I think it is all grouped into maybe one big ball called my metaphysical journey. And I feel that as a metaphysician, and I say that because, I mean, bruh, what else am I supposed to call it, right? I'm a metaphysician, right? I'm a creatrix. I am someone who sees those things that others don't typically see. And I think about those things that other people typically don't think about. I can maybe give you the definition of metaphysics. Maybe we can start there. Metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that deals with the first principles of things, including abstract concepts such as being, knowing, substance, cause, identity, time, and space. And then they give a little sentence, right? They would regard the question of the initial conditions for the universe as belonging to the realm of metaphysics or religion. And I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Let me see. What else am I? Okay, how did we get here? Talked about my dissertation a little bit. I will be talking about my dissertation for a while, easily until it's done. I believe that I'm like 70% done. So if I drop a video and I'm talking about something, 9 times out of 10 I'm going to mention my dissertation. We can make that into a drinking game if you'd like. I'm here for it. I mentioned the word dissertation, maybe you take a drink. Easy enough. Until it's done, and then I don't know. We'll have to come up with something else. I'm also, I mentioned I'm a Creatrix. I am wearing my Creatrix shirt today, which I created as a way of maybe saying the word a little bit more. Wait, there it is. There's my Creatrix shirt. I actually wore this one time with like a blue skirt. I think I had a barbecue. I don't know. But it's been sitting in my closet. And so I decided I was going to wear it today so that I could stay on topic a little bit with the video. And then, yeah, what is metaphysics? So I feel like there we are. I've covered everything that I wrote down, everything I planned on talking about. So that being said, I've kind of gone over. My name is Aliacia. I am a middle-aged woman who at some point in life took a turn away from maybe a naturally normal way of thinking and started actually listening to what was intuitively gathering maybe around me, maybe thoughts, feelings. I am naturally an empath, and we can discuss that on another video. If you're an empath, join me later for that, right? I'm naturally an empath, and naturally I am a creatrix as well. So what does that mean? Because I know that I'm not the only one out there. Like, I know for a fact, I mean, I'm on YouTube, right? If you're seeing this on YouTube, then you are likely scrolling through, you've probably seen some other metaphysical, spiritual video, and somehow you landed here on some middle-aged woman just kind of speaking and rambling about spirit and the higher self and your crown chakra. And you're like, wow, yeah, I think that's it. But with that comes also the element of creation and knowing and acknowledging that I hold a bit of responsibility and accountability for most of what I see around me. So when I need something, or I feel like I need something, there is a process of maybe a manifestation that comes up to where it starts in your mind, and then once you've seen it in your mind, then it becomes tangible. That happens for me quite a lot. I've become really good at that. And we can discuss that if you want. Maybe leave a comment. Hey, let's talk about that. I'm interested. But with that comes a level of responsibility, a level of accountability that has to come from within as a creatrix, or you know where I am, what I am seeing, what I am experiencing, and the experiences around me. I've played a pivotal role in those things. And this can be a little triggering, or even a little, I won't say traumatic, but it can bring to you maybe some feelings of negativity, because maybe as you're watching or you're hearing that, you're in maybe a negative space, or you're in a negative experience, or you're in a negative situation right now, and you're thinking, hell no, I had nothing to do with this. Like, something happened and I got put into this. Like, this has nothing to do with me and I got put into this. And I can see how objectively, if I were to look, there maybe had been a series of unfortunate events, let's say, that brought you to where you are right now. Oh shoot, my AI is about to go off. Hold on.
Okay, I found this on the web for a series of unfortunate events that say that brought you to where you are right now. Oh shoot, my AI is about to go off. Check it out.
Yep. Okay, so as I was saying, maybe there were, some events that kind of got to you, and you ended up making a decision or a choice. You had to have made a decision or a choice, because if we are going to boil it all down, free will is the one thing that I believe every religious institution kind of says does exist in humanity, and could possibly be the reason for, a series of things. But it's not they all kind of have their own arguments about what level free will is playing in everyone's life, let's say. So you may be like, hey, I had nothing to do with this. I don't even know how I got here. I'm really not feeling your statements on accountability or responsibility for anything that has happened to me right now. And that is a part of where I come in as a coach. I believe that I have been put here in this human experience to assist, inspire, maybe motivate, maybe help you align, maybe help negotiate these experiences and ways that maybe will be more fitting and more in alignment with getting you to where your vision of yourself is. Sounds decent enough. I'm not a guru. I am a reverend. I'll tell you, I'm a reverend because I wanted to be called the Reverend Dr. Asia. And you guys, someone's going to call me the Reverend Dr. Asia very soon, because I am a reverend with the wisdom of the heart church, ordained. I can marry people. I can perform death rites. I can perform birth rites. I think ritual is very important, especially in a community. And so when it comes to ritual, I feel like it's important, and I do my best to be a facilitator for a community. So that being said, I am a reverend. I'm the Reverend Aliasia. But, somewhere many years ago, someone gave me the name Asia. And it kind of stuck with me. So my naming is not one where I took a deep spiritual journey, knowing that I was taking that deep spiritual journey, and ended up getting blessed with the name Asia. No, actually, I feel like my name encompasses a journey that I've been on easily since the late 90s. And so I kept the name, even though someone else gave it to me, because it encompasses a lot. Even in other beliefs, like even, the name Messiah, it does bring, breath, embodiment, and I think that that's what I do. I'm bringing breath and embodiment to some aspects of our lives that maybe we're not always thinking about. Now, look, I can't take myself way too seriously. I'm sitting in a t-shirt that says Creatrix on it that I kind of made, but what I am is intrinsically a creator. So there's that. Now, I will create anything. I'm going to create this video, right? And I will draw something. I am currently really deep in the resin arts. You can check out, I do have an Etsy shop. I don't know how much I can say on here about them at the that shop. I'm trying my hardest here to learn and navigate and circumnavigate how that whole thing works. But typically what I do is I go on my IG and I get orders from my IG. So that's pretty much how it works. And honestly, I am pretty much available everywhere. All of my socials are Asia Stormborn. So if you need something made, I'm the girl for you. I work with wood. I take old things and make them new. Distressed furniture. I've distressed homes, and I use the energy of everything around me to facilitate whether or not what direction I should take. So that is why I brought out these oracle cards. And if you can see them, there are these oracle cards, because I just wanted to give you a taste of where I tend to go with my coaching or with my guidance when I'm speaking to someone. And this is a handful, literally, because I got small hands. This is a handful of the myriad of cards that I will use. I will tell you this, I do feel like as someone who uses energy, flows with energy, possibly manipulates energy to help me in life, I feel like the use of cards is not necessary, but helpful. So I think that a lot of us that are diviners, we use divination tools because they help us by putting something tangible and physical in front of what maybe others are looking at. So for example, if you're using a pendulum, right? You feel, or you probably feel what the answer is, like intuitively. If you sat with yourself in deep contemplation, maybe relaxing a little bit more, you know what the answer is to the question that you're asking, or to the question that someone else is asking. You've felt that answer. typically you have to feel that answer first, and then that energy from your feeling moves into, let's say, the pendulum. I personally, and these are my personal opinions, and what's great about metaphysics is that I can say how I feel personally, and someone else can say how they feel personally. There is no real proof. I love that. I love the debate on it all. And for me, this is just what my answer is. So then you go to somebody else's channel, you're going to get, somebody else's answer, okay? So I personally believe that, yeah, if someone comes to me and they ask a question, I feel that answer. And that's typically when your thoughts and your feelings start to reflect after you've heard the question as maybe you're reading for a client, and then the answer kind of comes out. The cards or the pendulum or the runes, they're kind of reflecting in what you felt intuitively already. We just don't take that time to really get there. A lot of times we're so focused on, like, let's get the client in, we've got 50 minutes. They have a lot of questions. The client is a lot of times focused on, am I getting my money's worth? What's the barrier to entry here? Is this person real? Am I gonna, waste my money? So there's a lot of already extenuating circumstances going on when you're kind of set up. And so we do use the cards as a way, or the pendulum or the runes, as a way to maybe show a visual effect of what we felt or what we know. I feel like sometimes I could probably have gotten the answer without having seen the cards. That's just me. And I think that a lot of us have that same feeling or that same ability. I think we're all there. I just think that society has come with so much garbage about what divination, what energy manipulation, what healing, what those things are and where they fit in the grand scheme of things, especially like in spirituality, more especially in religion. And we kind of flow with it and say, okay, well, this is what the cards say, right? The cards didn't lie. But we kind of knew what the answer was going to be. I typically do. And I'm pretty sure others do also. If they were being honest, they would say they probably also know the answer too. Divination, I think I'm going to say this and then I'm going to be done. I think divination, it got like a bad rap, right? Because somewhere in the history of our world, our existence as humans, there was a disconnect. And somewhere humanity was told to believe that divinity was an outside job. And somewhere humans found it easier, possibly, or less painful to believe that divinity is an outside job. I personally feel like divinity is an inside job. There's a t-shirt. I might make that into a t-shirt, but whatevs. I believe divinity is an inside job. And I believe that it comes from within. I believe that we are all connected. We all have that same essence of that same divine essence in all of us, every single one of us. Every one of us has that, I believe. And I treat everyone accordingly. But what happens is we cut it off. We've decided it's not an inside, it's not within, it's somewhere out there. And then a lot of times, the more trauma or the more disconnect, you can tell how much further someone or a community has placed divinity. So all of that is to say that, and this will all circle back, I promise you. The more times I have to get on this camera, it will all circle back. There are many of us who take the route of accountability for our personal divinity, let's say, for our abilities, our gifts that we were given, and we move forward with that accountability and that responsibility in a helpful manner, or in a way that helps others as well as helping ourselves to grow. And that's, I believe, the Creatrix journey. I think that if you are someone who has this fire within you, that you're like, something is within me, I need to bring that out, I need to express that. It's a song, it's a painting, it's something, you know, I'm sculpting, it's a work of writing, it's a video, maybe it's something else, maybe it's an organization, it's a child. These are all aspects of the Creatrix journey, where that burning fire that's within you, that's like, hey, I have to make this happen. It is killing me to not have this happen. I feel like I am dying on the inside because what is down there is so deep. I am unable to actually function in regular world because this needs to come out, and for whatever reason, I can't keep squashing it anymore. I'm gonna say welcome. Because that's the Creatrix journey. And yeah, I named myself the Soulful Creatrix because not only will we talk about that journey of getting that fire out, that journey of what it feels like to have the oneness of all humanity kind of trampled on, and our charge to maybe fix that for your community. What it feels like to dive into things that may not be considered reality. We call those things, right, metaphysics, right? To dive in, and where are we going with these things, and what can we do with these things to make ourselves, the lives around us better? Because what's the point of studying if you're not going to use it, right? It's applied knowledge, right? So what does it all mean, right? That's, I think the point is, none of us know. None of us really know. We're all here just doing our best on this rock, living through our human experiences, making it make sense for us, and trying to help the world as much as we can. And I think that that's what's important to know from all of this, from everything, from every video that I may do on the topic of metaphysics and spirituality and religion is that I'm coming from the viewpoint that none of us really know what the truth is, mainly because truth is subjective and reality at this point is also subjective, and it is all based on and determined by the point of view of the person who is making the assessment. So here we are. What's real for you is what's real for you, and that's what matters. So we take what we're learning and we work on applying the knowledge that we are working with and the new things that we learn. And when you know better, you do better, right? So that's all we're going to do. We're just going to try and know better and do better. And I'm here for it. Love it. And so that's what I'm going to do on this channel, and I hope that you'll join me on this journey. I hope that you will at least like this video, maybe share it with somebody. I hope that eventually, and I don't know when you're seeing this, but if you're seeing this and I still only have 34 subscribers, I feel like you're a part of the problem. I would love for you to maybe go on in there and hit that subscribe button and help a girl out so that she can get to the point where we're able to actually interact live. I think that's the goal, is to get to where I'm able to interact live. But until then, we're going to do what we do now. And right now you've got me recording and talking to a lens, and I don't know who's on the other side, but if it's you, then maybe this was meant for you. And I'm so glad you're here. And I am so grateful that you've allowed me a chance to come in to your space and your energy and somehow interact with you, even if we're not at the same time. Time is still a construct, right? So it's all the same. With that in mind, I'm going to now read a card and hopefully wrap us up with something that may make more sense. This card that I'm reading from is the Divine Feminine Oracle, artwork by Lisbeth Sheaver Gessman, and this is Megan Watterson. I like this deck. I've had this deck for a little bit. I have not done an actual review of this deck, and maybe I will consider this the review of the deck. Let's go with that. The cards are big enough, or small enough for my tiny hands to hold. I enjoy being able to shuffle the cards easily, and these cards do shuffle easily. So I do like that. Do enjoy the artistry, and I enjoy the symbolism. I enjoy that the author, Megan Watterson, basically states that these are just her favorite deities, her favorite feminine deities, and she put them in the order that she wanted to put them in. They are not in any order in the book. And so, or they're not in order alphabetically in the book. She went by what she loved. These are the deities that worked with her, that spoke to her, and so she put them on an oracle card, in an oracle deck. We can discuss later on creating your own oracle deck. I'm a strong proponent of having your own oracle deck, so I feel like if that's something that you want to do, we can create a deck together and make your deck your own. Okay, so today's message coming from this deck, you've heard my disclaimer already on how these things work, in my opinion. So that being said, let's see. I'm just not noticing. These look like a little vagina on the back of this card. Look. There it is. Do you see that? I know. It's not a vagina. It's actually like, when you have I believe this is called a torus. When you have two circles that overlap, it's the middle of those two circles is the torus. I think that's what that is right there. Anyway, we can go into that another day, the geometry of it all. Okay, so today's card is Ariadne, Mistress of the Labyrinth. My soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. There it is. Where's she at? There we are. There. Look how beautiful. I don't know if you can see that in this lighting, but she is beautiful. I think all the goddesses are beautiful. Anyway, so this is Ariadne, and I think that when we're talking about the only way out is through, I think that's where we are right now. A lot of us in the world are trying to come out of something instead of go through their something. I know that, like, when we're talking about even like grief and trauma, a lot of people are just hoping to be brought out of their grief or out of their trauma. And the only way to actually make it out of those things is to actually go through them, to actually feel and experience them, digest them and process them into our being. And I think that that's, I don't know this card. I think that that's where this card is going. I think that that's the message that we are being told here. That you have to actually get through that labyrinth. And my Eastern Star sisters, we know about the labyrinth. It's important symbology, that labyrinth of life. So I'm going to find Ariadne and read what Megan Watterson says about Ariadne. In this book, you have to find the goddess in the table of contents. You have to find her in the table of contents, and then you go to that page. So Ariadne is on page 186. Let's see. Ariadne, mistress of the labyrinth. My soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. I think also if you're talking mathematically, then if my soul knows the way and the only way out is through, then my soul knows that the only way out is through. But sometimes we're not listening to our soul, right? They feel like there's a way out, and we're not going to go that way. We're not going to go the way of the soul. We want to figure out another way out. That's what it feels like. Anyway. Okay, so this says, who is she is? Ariadne represents the love and support available to us when we dare to be courageous. Ariadne is known as being both a Greek goddess and the human daughter of Minos, king of Crete. Her father put her in charge of the labyrinth, where 7 human sacrifices were made every 7 years to appease the Minotaur who lived within it. The Minotaur had the head of a bull and the body of a man. He preyed on those who got lost in the dark. One year, a valiant and heroic man named Theseus went into the labyrinth to slay the Minotaur and end the sacrifices. Ariadne fell madly in love with him and gave him a sword to kill the Minotaur and a ball of red thread so that he could find his way back out of the labyrinth and into the light. Ancient Greek myths were oral, so there are varying accounts of Theseus and Ariadne eloping after his success, or others where Ariadne's consort Dionysus, the Greek god of ritual madness and religious ecstasy, chases after her and pleads with her to return to him. Whichever way the story ends, the constant is that Ariadne's love and support changed the fate of so many who would have otherwise been lost to the labyrinth. When your soul selects her card, so I just selected her card, right? Ariadne is a symbol of the hope, the divine assistance, and the step-by-step process we can take to move through a difficult time or to confront an injustice in our life. That's what I was talking about, right? We're all being put here now with this charge to confront the difficulties that we have and to face them and to help others to face them. Theseus because he's daring to end a pattern of madness. Oops. I'm going to mess it up. Oh, She helps Theseus. There you go. She helps Theseus because he's daring to end a pattern of madness. He's willing to do whatever needs to be done to stop the injustice. She gives him the tools to create his desired outcome. He is successful because of her, and she assists him because he acts with courage. Her message is that our courage is always in some way rewarded. When we seek to end an unnecessary pattern or routine that is no longer serving us, even though we initially created it in the effort to keep us safe, we discussed that, the responsibility that we have to take as creators in our lives for the mess that we are in sometimes. It can feel as insurmountable as facing a horned part man, part beast that lives in a dark maze inside us. Pure terror. But the soul always wants our freedom. The divine is what liberates, not confines. It might feel like we can't find our way out of the situation, this maze, but we can. We can trust the soul knows the way through, and that spiritual support is a given. Which is crazy because in my short today, I did the quick oracle read. The message was that we all have help. Even though you may not see it, there is help. So there it is. So spiritual support is a given. Ariadne wants us to be brave so that she can fall in love with our actions. She is both a goddess and a human. She gets our fear, and she also knows just how much power we hold as well. So the question is, what allows me to feel supported while doing the inner work? And that's a great question. And that was Ariadne. I hope and pray that you do have support while you're doing your inner work. I'm here in my area doing the best that I can to create a supportive network, a supportive area, a supportive place, and hold space for women who feel that they don't have a place to be, and to create that space where we can create and just be and just support each other. So I hope that that area exists for you. I know that there are a lot of great networks online, a lot of great supportive communities online. I don't want to give anybody a shout out because I have to get permission first, but later on I will do such things if they allow me to do so. But there are great communities online, and you just got to find the community that of support for you. I will link in the comments. No, I will link in the description to the Divine Feminine Oracle, the guidebook and the cards. If you're so interested, I will gladly leave the link for you to find the cards for yourself. And I feel like this is a great place for us to stop. I feel like we have accomplished a lot just in a little bit of time. And I think that if you are resonating with anything that I'm saying, community-wise, spirituality-wise, metaphysically-wise, just being a Black woman, trying to reclaim her spirituality and wanting to find ways to reach out and help in your community itself, a creator, who's got something that spark inside of you and you're just trying to get it out and you just need that extra support, I'm here for it all. I'm going to link all of the ways to find me in the description, and if it resonates with you, it resonates with you, and that means that this was for you if you're seeing this. I appreciate and am so grateful for you allowed me to come into your energy, into your space today, and allowed me to connect with you today. And until next time, I'm still Asia, the Soulful Creatrix, and I'm going to wrap this up here.